Welcome to the Influence and Inspire podcast, episode 10. And I'm delighted to tell you my guest today is Latifah Atkinson, owner and head decorator at Bake That Cake. Hello, Latifah.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. How are you
Good,
today?
good. I'm tired, but I'm here.
Yes, working hard as usual.
Yeah.
All right, Latifah, so I'll kick off with my first question. So just tell us about how you became a cake maker.
Well, it was a hobby for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I left uni, I kind of couldn't find a job when I left uni.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just started getting really busy as a hobby. And then I just decided to give it a shot as a business.
Okay, what did you study at uni out of interest?
Forensic science with criminology.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's I suppose it's quite difficult
Yeah.
to get a job in that area, but it's very unique, isn't it?
Yeah, very. So
So,
I enjoyed it. I didn't regret or anything, but yeah, it was hard to find a job in that field.
yeah.
Very competitive and a very intense vetting process. So
Mm-hmm.
while I was looking, I was just making more and more cakes. Obviously, I had free time, and then it became for me just doing it as a hobby or like as for friends and family. So people saying, "How much do you charge for?" And then the orders started to get bigger and more frequent
Mm-hmm.
until someone said to me, "Why don't you just turn this into a business?"
Yeah.
And then I approached the Princess Trust, and they helped me start a business.
Okay. All right. So Bake the Cake was founded in 2010, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you what made you feel confident that cake baking and decorating would make a good business?
I wasn't confident that it would make a good business. That's
Right.
why I was still studying alongside it.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I started turning it into like I wouldn't call it a full blown business. I'd call it more like I don't know, paid hobby.
Okay. Okay.
Because that's when I actually started charging for cakes in 2010. Before I
Right.
just did it for free for family and friends.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so because I've actually started baking and decorating cakes from I was about 15.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, in 2010 I was doing it as a paid hobby. So when I was at uni, I used to drive down from Kent to London to make cakes every weekend,
Mm-hmm.
alongside having a job and going to uni. So it got a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I left uni in 2013, I was just unemployed and just still doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
And then in 2014, I decided I'll approach the Princess Trust.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was going to be a feasible business at first because I thought, oh, like it's I thought it was only cake.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I actually started to delve into it and explore it a bit more, and I realized that I was actually good at it,
Yeah.
then I realized that, okay, this could be a business because unless people stop getting married and having birthdays and having babies, then I don't see why I would go out of business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a good point.
So, exactly. So, yeah.
So you became a Princess Trust supported business in 2015.
Yeah.
So how did you go about approaching the Princess Trust?
Well, I made a cake for somebody
Mm-hmm.
and it was too big to fit on my mum's front door. So I used to
Wow.
bake it at my mum's house. Exactly. Um, and the person who I made a cake for said, "Oh, why don't you try to Princess Trust to help people start businesses?"
Mm.
And I didn't listen to her. And then
Mm-hmm.
I saw her again a few months later. She said, "Have you tried it yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't." She goes, "Just give it a go. You have nothing to lose."
Mm-hmm.
So I did. So I jumped on the website, found out about their enterprise program, and they told me to fill in my details and someone will call me back. And within an hour, someone called me back and said, "Do you want to come on our course?"
Right.
And I said, "Yeah." And I went on the 4-day course and went to the training and stuff like that. They helped me write my business plan
Mm-hmm.
and they gave me a startup loan.
Okay. So a lot of people might not know that the Princess Trust give you startup loans and things like that, and
Yeah.
apparently you didn't know until someone actually told you that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Well, the Prince Trust do a lot. It's not just startup loans. They help you get into business.
Mm-hmm.
They help you get into work, education.
Yeah.
It's not just for entrepreneurs. It's for anybody who's between 13 and 30.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, they do. It's not a massive startup loan, but they do give you a loan and a mentor, and then they give you advice and guidance for 3 years after that
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you don't fail.
Okay. So
Um, So yeah.
And is that something you suggest other people could try, going through the Princess Trust if they've got start a business?
Yeah, it's an option because to be 100% honest with you, I was one of the very few people who actually had a solid idea when I went
Mm-hmm.
to the 4 day course because they put you on like a 4 day business course.
Yeah, yeah,
And a lot of people there were just kind of had ideas that they might do and were still on the drawing board of
yeah.
what they actually want to get into business in regards to. So to be fair, you don't even have to have a solid business idea in the beginning. Your mentor will help you define what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
refine, sorry, your business plan to
Mm-hmm.
see what you want to do.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's a good path to go if you don't have a couple grand in your account
Mm-hmm.
to start a business. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Latifah, so you're also a young ambassador for the Princess Trust. Can you just tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah. So basically, as a young ambassador I applied to be a young ambassador, and it's a voluntary role that I do
Mm-hmm.
for them because the Princess Trust is a charity. They rely on donations to be able to help young people do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even the loans and stuff is all from donations,
Okay.
from personal donations and also corporate donations.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of contacts with large corporate companies who give their money
Mm-hmm.
as this is a part of a charity scheme. So basically, as a young ambassador, I go around to different places in UK, and I speak to different corporate people, different organisations who are um, teaming up with the Princess Trust, and I basically just tell them my story
Yeah.
because instead of going to these people with money and saying, we've helped 10,000 young people this year, give us some more money,
Mm-hmm.
they'll prefer to have a personal experience and have me tell them where I came from
Yeah.
and where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how your money has helped
Okay.
somebody like me in the flesh because it's easy saying that, okay, yeah, look, I went to the Prince Trust and I started a business.
Mm.
But if you go into it, the reason why I kind of had to start a business is because even if I wanted to go into forensics, I couldn't because in my last year of uni, I found out I was dyslexic, and you
Okay.
can't become a dyslexic forensic scientist.
Right.
So that dream was crushed. So I
Mm.
kind of had to do business. I didn't have to do business, but business was the next option for me,
Yeah.
and I didn't want it to fail
Yeah.
because I found out I was dyslexic in my second year, um, and I was contemplating doing my third year, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to quit that stuff, so I just did it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so that's where it is with business. I kind of just went into it, and I thought, okay, I can't do what I want to do, so the next best thing I enjoy is my hobby. So let's just turn this into business,
Mm.
and that's what I done. So yeah, that's going to be off topic, but yeah, a young ambassador. We go around UK. There's a lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
and basically tell our stories, and then um, you meet a lot of big people, rich people,
Mm-hmm.
which could also give you opportunities as a young
Oh,
ambassador
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. That's true.
Because like I've met a lot of corporate people, and then now they've started ordering cakes from me for big events,
Wow. It's really
because
good.
now they're inspired by what I do,
Yeah.
and some of my fellow young ambassador friends,
Mm-hmm.
they've got inspiring stories, and now that's opened doors for them to start being mentors or um, doing more, um, having more ventures, not necessarily always in business,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
more personal and business ventures. Because all the young ambassadors I do it with are all different. Some of them are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them aren't. Some of them just have really powerful stories that will just inspire a bunch of people and bring you to tears
Yeah.
just by listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what us young ambassadors go around and do.
Okay.
We don't necessarily speak to young people,
Mm-hmm.
but when, as I said, you get opportunities. So now when these people hear you speak, if they're from an organization that deals with young people, then they will say, "Oh, you're really inspiring. Could you come and speak to my young people?" And then you kind of be able to help
Yeah.
people like that because that's kind of where I am now.
Yeah.
I've just become a role model for a group called Black and Ethnic Girls, Black and Ethnic Minority Group, and
Mm-hmm.
basically what they do is they help Black and Ethnic Minority females, basically inspire them so they know they're more. So
Yeah.
they have role models come in every year and become a role model for these 13 to 25-year-olds.
Okay.
So I've just become one with them in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to be able to make someone see someone's perspective change.
Yeah.
Not in an instant,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see them coming in reluctant and then thinking, okay, maybe.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend, or I'm not gonna act like I don't know.
Yeah.
Even some of these young boys, I had a boy who's in Peru, I think they call it Peru, or referral,
Right.
and he came with his teacher who I had met. She knows me personally, so she said, "Oh, I work at this place. Can I bring one of my boys down to see you?" And he came down, and he was decorating with me all day and cutting out letters and helping me.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, he starts to talk and let off stuff.
Yeah.
And they try to act cool, like, I'm not gonna get into this and whatever. But then by the end of it, because I'm talking to you on your level,
Yeah.
you open up and you talk, and you realize that, you know, it's not the way. It doesn't have to be the way you think it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So you can do more than what you think it's gonna be. Because the reason why I never quit at nothing, because I'd refused to be a statistic of
Mm-hmm.
where I came from.
Yeah.
An estate in Wembley. I didn't want to be one of those statistics.
Mm-hmm.
A young mum, some drug dealer's girlfriend.
Mm.
I didn't like what I saw around me, so I just was like, I need to get out. Uni didn't work getting me out, so we've got to do business.
Mm. Good.
So, yeah.
So, and how's business going for you at the moment? I know you're very, very busy, so I assume business
Oh,
is going well.
yeah. It's harder than it sounds, but you got to keep going, innit? It's really busy because obviously I work by myself. Well, it's not obvious, but I work by myself. So
Yeah. I mean, how long? So I suppose you've been working by yourself since the start. So have you thought
yeah.
about getting a bit more help doing what you do?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. At the moment, I just, on the odd occasion, I'll rope in my best friend or
Mm-hmm.
somebody to come and help. But yeah, and I've been looking at getting some apprentices
Okay.
from a college that I taught a baking day at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they said that when their students finish their studies, that they can come and do some apprenticeships with me. So I'm probably going to look into that
Yeah.
option now, because I would like to teach someone kind of to be able to do what I do as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds like a really good idea. And
Yeah,
for young people starting out, that's a good way to go.
exactly.
Your motto is make the edible incredible.
Making the edible incredible,
Sorry,
yes.
making the edible incredible.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of your cakes, and they're truly incredible. They're they're unbelievable, to be quite honest.
Thank you.
I mean, anyone that's listening to this, you have to see Latifah's cakes because they are amazing.
It's funny you say that,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, when I say, oh, what do you do? When they say, what do you do? I say, I make it. Say, oh, okay.
No, it's not okay.
So literally, so they just brush it off like, okay, she makes cakes. And to be fair, before I started doing cakes,
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's cakes are really that nice.
Yeah.
Like, just a cake.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then so, I was at an event, a networking event the other day, and I said to the lady, somebody I met, oh yeah, I make cakes. She goes, oh, okay. And she kind of like was about to change the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady I was with said, no, she makes amazing cakes. You introduce yourself as amazing cakes. And if you say just cake, people will carry on doing what they're doing. You have to say amazing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it sounds cocky, but you have to say
No,
amazing.
but yeah, and they are amazing. They are definitely
So,
amazing.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do without sounding cocky.
Question
But they are
is,
pretty
do,
incredible.
do they taste as good as they look? See, I don't know. I've only seen them, so
Yes, they do taste as good as they look.
they do. Oh, good.
I'm
Good
not
to
even tooting my own horn. I'm actually telling the truth.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So,
I take a lot of pride in the inside and the outside.
mm-hmm.
So I still crack every egg by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
So, what kind of cakes do you do actually? So, on the inside, what kind of cakes do you do?
Oh gosh, you want me to read you the list?
No, no.
It's a long list.
A few examples, but also, do you do like gluten-free cakes and stuff like that, or are you doing that kind of thing?
Yeah, so obviously I do the standard, like a lot of the standard flavors and a bit of variation.
Mm-hmm.
Like vanilla cake, chocolate cake.
Yeah.
I do a really good Caribbean fruit cake
Mm-hmm.
and rum cake,
Mm-hmm.
and red velvet,
Yeah.
coconut, stuff like that. I started to get into the gluten free cakes and the vegan cakes and the eggless cakes
Mm-hmm.
about maybe a year ago.
Okay. Okay.
But what I find is it's perfect. It's fine to do. They taste okay if that's what you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not as good for like carving and turning into incredible cakes because,
Right.
for example, a gluten-free cake is more crumbly.
Mm-hmm.
Eggless cake is a bit more dense. So some of
Right.
them are not good for turning them into the cakes that I turn them into.
Right.
And
Okay.
maybe a standard round or square cake, yeah. But if you want like a carved, sculpted cake, then
Mm-hmm.
I won't do it in gluten-free or egg-free or vegan or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because then it probably will crumble on you anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So yeah, I wanted to ask you how you do your designs as well, because I've seen. What have I seen off the top of my head? I've seen. I'm sure I've seen a baby.
oh, you sort of
Yeah, I've
the
seen a
baby, yeah,
baby in a crib. I think.
yeah,
I've seen a football boot.
yeah.
Um. And yeah, I can't remember the
Have you
other
seen
stuff.
any of the food ones? Jacket potato.
Yes. Yes. I saw the jacket potato one. Have you done chips as well?
Yeah, fish and
Fish and
chips,
chips. Yeah.
rice and peas, brown stew chicken and coleslaw. That's not
Amazing.
even a joke. I've actually done it.
No, no, I've seen some of the pictures. So how do you design your cake? So from scratch, if I said like I want a rice and peas and fried chicken cake, how would you go about designing that? Would you would you well, I suppose food's something different. So if it was another item, would you want a picture, or would you do it from a picture?
Yeah, that's the thing. I always ask because what a lot of customers tend to do is they have an idea in their head and then they Google it and then they send me the best thing they can find on Google.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want a shoe cake or a handbag cake, they'll go and find this specific shoe
Mm-hmm.
or handbag and in a cake, and they'll send it to me and say, "Can you please do this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be honest, I hate when people do that because don't send me another cake. Send me what you want because
Yeah.
my aim is to recreate what you want, not
Exactly what
recreate
you
another
want.
cake.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and I'm very picky with attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like you to send me the actual item so I can get every piece of detail I can absolutely fit on this cake to make it look real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if someone looks at one of my cakes that is supposed to be something like a handbag or a shoe or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't say, "Is that a cake?" then I feel like I failed.
Truly, truly,
Truly, I'm telling you, I
and
do. I'm just more disappointed. If you know it's a cake from the get go, I'm
yeah,
more disappointed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's exactly how they look. It's like, is that a cake? Yeah, all of them, all the ones I've seen anyway. Is that a cake? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my aim.
Hmm.
That's my aim with the cakes I do. Make
Okay.
them more jaw dropping and realistic looking.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. Right. So you also designed a cake to celebrate 40 years of the Princess Trust,
Yes,
and you met the Queen and Prince Charles.
yes, I did.
Hmm. How was that?
A little bit awkward
Yes.
because obviously they asked me to make a cake for the Queen and the Prince,
Hmm.
but they told me I'm not allowed to tell anybody
Oh, really?
for like a whole week. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I couldn't tell anybody. So I made the cake and brought it there. And then the Queen came and they brief you on how to address the Queen
Hmm.
and the Prince and what to say and what not to say and speak only if you're spoken to and all these lists of stuff. But
Right.
to be honest, before this occurred, I wasn't really like I'm not a starstruck person.
Mm.
So it wasn't it wasn't really I wasn't really excited about it. I was just like, okay, yeah, I want to make cake for the Queen.
Hmm.
She's gonna be there. I'm not gonna be able to talk to her anyway. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
So they told me we're to stand and whatever. And they said, oh, she speaks to you dressed like this. So I thought to myself, she's not going to talk to me anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm listening, but I'm not listening to what you're saying. So when they were cutting the cake, there was a lady there. She was like, oh, the young entrepreneur behind you made this cake. And the Queen spun around and she goes, oh, you made the cake. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I listened. So I was like, yes, Your Majesty. And I forgot to curtsy. So that to curtsy, it was so awkward. And then she was like, oh, what's inside? And I was like, oh, vanilla sponge. And she's
Hmm.
oh, splendid. And the prince was like, we must have a look.
Mm.
And he like cut a big slice out of it, and then everyone was fighting for that slice afterwards.
Oh, really?
But yeah, and then he shook my hand and said, well done on what you're doing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was quite surreal to be honest, because even after it happened, I was just like, oh yeah, I made a cake for the Queen today. People were like, oh my God, the Queen, the
Yeah.
Queen, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
acting more excited than me. So I thought, like, am I not behaving correctly? Should I be more excited? But I
Mm.
don't know. I'm not really a starstruck person, so even though I met her, I don't know. I just felt it was a good experience because a lot of people don't get to meet the Queen in their lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
But But I don't know. I feel like because I've put it down to because I'm so busy, I don't really stop to take in what's happening to me. I just kind of keep going. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Yeah.
Because my friends keep telling me, Latifah, you need to stop and slow down and realize the achievements you're actually achieving. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I've done that. So on to the next.
Yeah.
So after a few months, I actually realized like, wow, Latifah, you met the queen when everyone started to post it and show it. And then when I was going places, like, oh, you're the girl who made the cake for the queen. You're the girl who made the cake for the queen.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, wow. So well done, Latifah.
Yeah, definitely. Well done. Well done. Well done for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people have actually made a cake for the queen, but you have now, so that's excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you currently baking any cake for anyone else special? Not especially the queen, of course, but anyone else?
Not necessarily celebrities at the moment, more bigger corporate companies.
Right,
But
okay.
the last celebrity I done was I think about 2 months ago was Jerry Halliwell's daughter's 11th birthday.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so she had a couple of unicorn cakes.
A couple of unicorn cakes.
Yeah,
Right,
you know
okay.
these young girls are into this whole unicorn thing now. So
Yeah.
she had a party and a birthday on 2 separate weeks.
Right,
So
okay.
one cake for each event. So yeah, that was happened a few months back.
Okay.
And you know what? There's more, but I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really bad that I don't remember.
No, don't worry.
It's really bad because I'm doing so much. I keep folders in my phone of the stuff.
Yeah.
Just so I remember because I don't remember stuff off the top of my head anymore.
Yes, you're that busy. I know.
Oh, I'm telling you. I didn't. You know when people used to say they're really busy.
Yes.
I'm thinking, how can you be that busy? Like you're too busy to answer a phone call. Like how can you be that busy?
Yeah.
And I just feel like shut up, Latifah, because you know.
You know
You're that
exactly what I
person
mean.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And then I get upset. Like, why are you getting upset at me? Because I was busy. And now the tables have totally turned because I'm that person now. I'm just like, oh, okay. I understand. I really understand.
So, Latifah, how do you advertise your product? Because I've seen some of your stuff on Twitter. I've actually seen you in your van. Actually, funny enough,
Have
your
you?
Bake the Cake van. Yes, because I live around the corner from Scrubs Lane. So I've saw you on Scrubs Lane in your van. I assumed it was you, but there might be someone else driving a Bake That Cake van.
No, it was probably me.
Right. Okay.
There might be somebody else driving it, but it was my van. Yeah. Because I'm right around the corner from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, we can Bake That Cake is on the side of your van. How else do you advertise?
Social media, Instagram, Facebook. And then after that, it's really just word of mouth. People see a cake at the event. I was like, who made that cake? And then it was like, they'll either shout it out. If it's like a big event, they'll say it they'll tell everybody, or they'll ask me to leave business cards. And then it's kind of like that. I saw this cake at this party or this event. I wonder if I could have, it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the process of trying to market outside of just word of mouth.
Yeah.
Trying to create a marketing plan, but haven't finished that quite yet. But yeah, that's kind of really it. You know, people just seeing it and word of mouth, and it's just spreading and spreading.
Yeah, and I suppose the fact that your work is so good, that's why word of mouth is enough at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's effective, but you know, you can't rely solely on word of mouth.
No. Well, your pictures on Instagram, I'm sure will do the trick.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get in contact with you because they would like a cake designed, what's the best way of doing that?
The best way would be to drop me email through my website.
What is your website? I mean, I'll put all these details on the show notes, but if you just say what your website is.
www.bakethatcake.co.uk.
Okay.
Simple. Everything's
Nice and
Bake That
simple.
Cake on everything. Yeah.
Bake That Cake.
On everything. Everything is just Bake That Cake. So social media, all the platforms is just at Bake That Cake UK, but if you type in Bake That Cake, it will still come up.
Okay.
And then the website is bakethatcake.com or .co.uk. And that's the best way to contact me. and then maybe I can send Ryan some samples, and he can tell you on the next podcast how amazing they taste. So you know they taste as good as they look.
Yes, that'd be good. Please do, please do.
Now I know you're just around the corner. I have no excuse.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But yeah, so that's the best way to get in contact with me, really.
Okay, and before you go, I have to ask about what is the range of your price list? Well, should I really ask you what your prices are? What is the range? Because the cakes I see, as I said, and I'll say it again, they are amazing. Um, are they out of the reach of the normal average person?
Um, See, do you know what? Yeah, I had this discussion on Facebook the other day
Okay,
with the difference with the difference. Sorry, I'm going off topic now. Wait, I'm
go
gonna
on.
ask you a question.
Right.
But I had this conversation with somebody on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
about what's the difference between something being expensive
Mm-hmm.
and someone not being able to afford something.
Right. Okay. Is
And
that the question you're asking me?
um, that's not necessarily I'm asking. I'm just putting it out there
Yeah.
in general because um, I feel like a lot of people say something is expensive if they can't afford it,
Right.
even though it's not expensive for what it is. If you get what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then some things are just plain right expensive for
Right.
what it is.
So
Um,
you would say your cakes are worth paying for, basically. So
um,
they're
yeah, because I feel like because the thing about cakes here
mm,
is that a lot of people when they ask you for a cake and they tell you what they want, they come and collect their cake or it gets delivered.
mm-hmm.
Um, None of the cakes are off the shelf; they're all custom made.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Every egg is cracked specifically for your cake. Every flavor is made for your cake. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like off the shelf mix and whatever. So everything is done custom. So they don't realize that sometimes 2-3 days you're going to be making one cake.
Mm,
You know, so it's a really time consuming thing because I'm at the point now where I'm doing a lot of cakes,
mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's not enough to grow more. But then if I grow more, I couldn't do them by myself because I
Yeah.
literally physically don't have the hours to be able to do so much detailed cakes in just 7 days. And right now I'm working 7 days a week, and I need to
Mm,
stop that because it's not good for me.
no. No. No.
So yeah, so price range of cakes. So, for example, we'll just talk about the sculptured ones at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the cake prices they depend on like size, design, and the detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for example, pick a cake and I'll tell you. I
Uh,
don't know.
I have to
Pick a
say
cake.
that Hypervenom football boot, the grey and orange one.
Uh, Does it have a football on it as well?
Uh,
Oh,
mm,
the
uh,
grey and orange one.
yeah, just the boot.
That. Okay, yes, that was 165.
Okay. Okay.
And
It's
like something like the baby, like so that took me maybe like I think maybe 5 hours
oh
to
wow,
do.
yes, a lot of
And
work.
then if like something like the baby took me like excluding baking took me like 13 hours.
Wow, wow,
The
wow, wow.
baby took me to make,
Yeah.
and bearing in mind that baby was twins. There was two
Ah.
identical of those baby cakes
Oh my
because they were
gosh.
for twins. So that
Yeah.
was 13 hours like times two.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So and some of the cakes that you make you can't stop. Like I can't just do this
Oh,
bit then.
you just
Just
have to
like
keep going.
yeah, some of them you have to keep going because you can't allow icing to dry if you're trying to shape it and mold it and
Mm.
do details on it. Sometimes you can't allow it to dry. Not on all designs. On some designs,
Yeah.
like for example, if I'm trying to make the baby's skin look like skin, I
Mhm.
can't put ice on it and leave it and go away and let it dry and then try and turn it into skin.
Mhm.
Do you get what I mean? I'd have to do it straight away. So those 13 hours, I had to keep doing it straight.
Wow.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it just depends. It's very tiring and very time consuming. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah. I've,
But
I,
yeah, I
I,
just feel like no one should have a rubbish cake at their party
yeah.
or
Yeah.
their event. So I'm here to change the cake world.
Indeed. Indeed. No, but so when you actually tell me the amount of work that you put into it, now I can understand that that's not expensive. That's not
Yeah,
expensive. So
yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
okay.
If anybody who likes to bake cakes is listening, and you'd like to be an apprentice, you can email me
Yeah.
on
At,
info@bakethatcake.co.uk.
yeah, that would be really good actually.
Yeah,
So
that would.
yeah, and the sooner you get those apprentices, it'll be the better, I suppose.
Yeah, the quicker you'll get your cake.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. All right, Latifah. Thanks for speaking to me today.
Thank you for having me today.
It's been good, and keep up the good work. And
You too.
yeah, don't work too hard though.
And I'll try.
All right, take care.
I'll try. Thank you.